my name is Amelia. So to begin, I will explain the introduction to random errors. A random error is a common type of error that occurs during measurements. It causes the measured values to vary unpredictably, even when measuring the same object under the same conditions. Let's look at the definition in more detail. Scientifically speaking, a random error is the unpredictable variation in measurements that causes repeated measurements of the same quantity to differ slightly from one another. It typically arises from uncontrollable factors, such as observer estimation, instrument limitations, or changing environmental conditions during
Random error happens when there are small changes during measurement. For example, the environment or the measuring instrument can affect the reading. So, when we measure the same object several times, we may get slightly different result. For example, a pencil measured 3 times may give 15.0 cm, 15.1 cm, and 14.9 cm. These small differences are caused by random errors,
which is weighing error. So I have provided an animation of a real-life situation that happened in a lab. So what I'm intending to show you guys is basically for weighing, one possible source of random error is air disturbance. For example, imagine I'm weighing a powder sample and suddenly my lab partner walks past me. The movement of air can cause a small amount of the powder to blow away, so the mass I record becomes slightly lower than the actual mass. This makes the weighing inaccurate and can affect the final results. To reduce this error, we should avoid unnecessary movement around the balance. Keep the balance door closed if we using an analytical balance and handle the sample carefully. Next is the viewing angle, also known as parallax error. This error happens when we read the level from above or below eye level, instead of directly in line with the meniscus. As shown in the diagram, viewing from too high gives a lower reading, while viewing from too low gives a higher reading. Even though the difference may only be a fraction of a milliliter, it can still affect the accuracy of the results. To prevent this error, always position your eyes at the same level as the meniscus before taking the reading. Okay, now we will be moving on to the next slide, which is temperature. Another source of error is uneven mixing during temperature measurements. If the liquid is not stirred properly, temporarily hot and cold spots can form inside the solution. As a result, the thermometer may measure only one area instead of the overall temperature, giving a random or inaccurate reading. To reduce this error, make sure the solution is stirred thoroughly before recording the temperature so that the heat is evenly distributed.
Okay, next I will explain about impact and prevention of random error. Okay, as you guys can see, random error can affect both accuracy and precision. It may cause the measured result to differ from the true value and can also make repeat results more scattered and less consistent. Therefore, random error can reduce the reliability of food analysis results. Next, there are 3 ways to minimize random error. First, repeat the measurements and calculate the average. Second, use calibrate and well-maintained equipment. Third, follow standard procedures and use the same technique consistently. Let me explain this clearly. For example, when measuring a food sample, taking only one measurement may give a different result due to small random variations. By repeating the measurement and taking the average, we can reduce the effect of these variations and obtain more consistent results. So, in conclusion, random error cannot be completely avoided, but it can be minimized through repeat measurements, proper equipment, and consistent laboratory procedures. So, that's all from us. Thank you.